Live. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
I was
All right. Um,
because my acne been doing me dirty lately.
you're good. You're good. You can't even see it on this if that makes you feel any better.
Okay, good.
Um, I am trying to shoot a message. Evidently, it popped up on my Twitch and my YouTube channel, so I guess we're good. Yeah, it looks like we are literally everywhere. Um, Shout out to Wednesday throwing her all over the place. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this out to group chats and whatnot, and then we can go ahead and get started. Actually, while I am doing this, go ahead and introduce yourself, give us a little rundown. I'll get the questions pulled up.
Okay,
Um,
I'm Danaejah. I'm a model. I've been wanting to model since I was a little girl. So, and like, I would say probably like mostly this year, but I would say probably 2 years ago, I kind of started getting myself comfortable and familiar with like the camera.
okay.
Um, so yeah, I'm in school as well. I'm about to graduate December to get my associates, and then I'm gonna finish off to get my bachelor's. It
Oh,
shouldn't take
sweet.
that long, cause it's been kind of like a bumpy road with that. But
Hmm.
yeah, so just pretty much been working, trying to finish school, and
Okay,
just
okay,
taking any opportunity I can with the modeling and
okay,
everything.
sweet.
So.
I have a few modeling networking things that I could absolutely send your way. I'm trying to make sure that
That'd
this
be
is set
great.
up.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure that I'm like getting the right link sent out because I would
You're good.
genuinely cry if it joins. It worked. Can confirm it worked. Didn't work in the way that I thought it was going to. However,
Okay, it's working though.
it is what it is. I'm happy that we got what we got. So let's go ahead and get some questions going. I thought this was going to be a good little way to get to know you and all of that. And since you're just starting modeling and that's like your main uh, goal, those are going to be the questions that I run. I feel
Okay.
like that's going to be a very easy way to, but also get you, the word that I'm looking for is not there. It'll get you like in the mindset of modeling and whatnot. That's
Okay.
gonna happen this whole time. Wednesday's just gonna either jump in the camera or meow, or
It's fine. Yeah, I
it
get
happened during the
it.
first one, and neither of us could keep it together long enough. So I feel bad for whoever's listening on Spotify because they're gonna be like, I think we're missing something.
Right.
Oh goodness. Um, all right. So question one, we're gonna start in the familial side of things. How has your family's support and love influenced your career as a model or as an aspiring model?
Mm. Well, I would say my mom, growing up, she will always tell me I should model. She will always like. She was the one that was like my number one fan. She always be like, "You're so beautiful. Like, I made you. You came for me. Like, you should model. You can do it." So I would say that my mom for sure. And not too long ago, it's funny how you asked that. I told my dad. I think it was last month. I was doing a couple shoots, and
Yeah.
like when I leave, I would tell him like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do the shoot." He'd be like, "Just be careful, because you know, like creeps out there." Instead of just being like a father, pretty much. But
That is
I think
exactly
they're
how my
very,
parents did it. So I
yeah.
absolutely understand.
I think they're very supportive, definitely. Just as long as I'm safe, then I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let me think. How about friendships? Have you had any friendships in the community or even in your own like local home community? Have any of those connections been like your, oh man, I really do need to like continue this. I really do need to get this going. Or maybe it's the lack of support that made you realize like I really gotta
Hmm.
lock in. I gotta go for it.
Right. Yeah, friends as well. I do have a best friend I've known since my freshman year. She congratulated me yesterday too,
Oh,
because there's some other things coming up next month that I'm doing, like a model walk, and she actually put me onto that. She sent like
okay.
some connections my way. So
Sweet.
yeah, definitely people that I've been connecting with, group chats, different groups have been definitely supportive. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say. So yeah,
Okay.
overall, people in my life, I would say they're very supportive, and they think I should go for it each and every time. Everybody tell me I should go for it, so I'm just like, that definitely
Well, you
motivated me.
should.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'll run it back too. You absolutely should.
Thank you so much. Oh my god.
Yeah, you need to. It's one of
Yeah.
those like, go for it, go for it, go
Mhm.
for it again.
Right.
If there's one thing that I've learned in modeling is that you just gotta, like, even
Do
if you
it.
don't think you're gonna be great at it, even if you don't think that it's a, like, even if you don't think it's a chance that you're gonna, like, make it, just go for it.
Mhm. Right. It's like it holds you
Absolutely.
back when you overthink so much, and I think that was
Yeah.
me. Like in the past few years, even in high school, like I've been told this all my life. Literally, people think they could see me as being a model. So, and it's just like, I guess with my confidence being low, I guess I just kind of held myself back from that. So I just had to tell myself and learn, like, you're not gonna grow if you just gonna keep holding
Right.
yourself back and just overthinking and worried about what other people think. Like, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Like, only you can make things happen for yourself. And so, yeah, I just really had to shut all that noise out and just
No,
do
I
it.
absolutely agree. No progress has ever been made in your comfort zone. Like you
Right.
gotta get out there. You really gotta go for it and you gotta do something. It's one of
Hmm.
those like try, try, try again.
Right. And I kind of like being uncomfortable because it's like I know I'm going to learn something or I'm going to
You
grow
know
from
you're
it.
growing.
Yeah. So it's like I'm just in the moment at this point.
Yeah. That's the best way to be. Oh, that is the best way to be.
Hmm.
All right, let's see. What is another one? Okay. How do you balance the demands of like your personal life and school and all of that stuff? How do you balance that with being a model and doing modeling and networking, your point?
I just take everything one step at a time.
Okay.
That's like the best thing to do because it's like you try to do too much at once, you overwhelm yourself. Sometimes it is necessary, like to do everything at once,
Mm-hmm.
but
I agree. I'm
most,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely understand the doing way too much.
I definitely had days where I was trying to cram like I get off work and then I have to hurry up and rush and get ready to do like a shoot or I just preparing to do the next thing. It's like it's a lot, but I feel like I think I do a very good job at multitasking. People have told me that as well because not a lot of people know how to, but I've definitely I definitely learned to get myself ready in a short amount of time because it was just necessary to, and I couldn't really break up different like plans that I had, if that makes sense. Like if I
Yeah,
had a shoot and then I was working. So, but
yeah,
yeah, taking
definitely.
it one step at a time
Hmm.
definitely helps a lot because you just stress yourself out when you try to do too much, and I don't think that's worth it. So
Trust me, I know.
just like slowing down, taking your time, because it'll all work out eventually in the end. I try to tell myself that, so I don't try to stress.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. Let's okay. Community building. So, how do you see the love and support contributing? That wasn't English. Contributing into a positive environment when it comes to your creativity. Like, is there any like story that you can tell me of a family member or a friend or somebody just hyping you up to the point in your modeling career or like beginning your modeling career that has said, okay, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm meant to be.
Hmm. A story I could think of. Let me see. I did a birthday shoot not too long ago, and I had my friends with me.
Hmm.
And I would say, like, the way they were, like, looking at me and they were just making little side comments, like, yes, like, I think stuff like that. Because, like, when people actually see me in the action and then they're saying, like, positive things about what I'm doing or the poses or how I look, I think that kind of pushed me to, like, okay, this isn't so bad. Like, I could really be in front of the camera. Like, because you can't really see yourself from other people's eyes, obviously. They say
Yeah.
that, they say that it's like completely different because you think you may look one way, but somebody
Hmm.
sees like a whole different vision. So I think that like knowing that people see something completely different from what I see, but it's coming like out positive, like positive to them. It's like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I can do this. Like it makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel like I'm doing what I need to do, even though
Okay.
I'm like nervous about it. If that makes
No, that
sense.
totally makes sense. I know they do modeling meetups for one of the guys that I work with. C. Morton Photo is his Instagram. I'll end up sending it your way. He hosts meetups for models and photographers to all get together and just start shooting.
Oh,
He'll say,
okay,
okay, we have
nice.
3 hours, 4 hour, however many hours. We're gonna be at this location. I'll put you in the group chat so we can figure it out. Here's where we're gonna be. Here's how many models we have. Here's how many photographers we have.
Mm.
Um, they kind of have like a ground rule of like you get 3 to 5 photos, which everybody sends at least 10. So that's just one of those like at a
Yeah.
minimum things. Um, I'll say, here's what we do. Here's how we do it. Here are the ground rules. Let's go. And like everybody locks in. Everybody brings outfits. Like photographers bring changing tents, and it kind of that's how I got into modeling. Was
Mhm.
somebody said, hey, like come do this meetup with me. And I was like, I'm not a model. And he goes, you about to be one. Get your ass. So I was like, oh, okay.
And I like that. I like people that push you to your like
Push you a
potential.
different
Really,
limit.
I like that. And it's like starting off when everybody was telling me like you should model, you should model. I really was just like, okay, let me just stop playing and let me just. I was on threads, just like typing in, just liking, just commenting under anybody that was looking. And then I came across this one page. I don't really want to say their name because I don't want to like put nothing out there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they were doing like a model call and they had people like sign this link up and stuff. And it's like I did it, but I never heard anything. And they said they were gonna pick models. Like I don't know if I just didn't get picked, but even just going back to their page and looking, I just didn't see nothing talked about like what they were doing ever again. Like it was just that
I've
one time
found a
link.
good amount of scams doing that
Yeah, and I'm
lately.
just like,
I've seen a
that was
good many of those. And one reached out to
right,
me, and I was just like, hmm.
right, and it was just very confusing. And so I almost let that discourage me, but then I was just like, nah, let me just keep going and stuff. So I literally networking. I used to think that did not work at all. I used to think that was like BS. Everybody always talk about networking, but that really is what put me on. Like I started meeting people and they started making things like happen right away. And then I
Oh,
was just
yeah.
like, I like stuff like that. Cause like I'm trying to get, cause once you're trying to step into something and if it's like
Mhm.
not working out or you're not hearing any information, it can discourage you. So
Oh, I agree. That's one of
yeah,
like the biggest killers of motivation is when something doesn't come of what you thought it was gonna
right.
like you thought something was gonna be big and grand and like blah 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 and then it wasn't. You're kind of sitting there afterwards like,
Waste of my time.
cool, what was all that about?
Right.
I've learned that the hard way that it takes patience and that like I know people hate like having to be patient. I know
Hmm.
I do at least.
I do, yes, for sure.
So it's one of those like, damn, I just gotta wait because like the whole good things come to those who wait, but
Hmm.
also one of those it is what it is kind of
Yeah,
things.
and I've learned to just give it to God. That's what anything in my life. Now that I'm getting older, I just give it to God because if I keep trying to handle it, keep trying to like go different routes about it, I'm just gonna again stress myself out. And I just prefer not to be stressed. Just not necessary.
I agree. I agree. It's one of those like you are the captain of your fate and all that
Mm.
good stuff. So you can only. I heard this today in a sermon. Thank you, Wednesday. Today in a sermon, the pastor had said, "Nobody can ruin your peace unless you give them permission."
Right.
I think that's a big thing, especially in modeling, that like nobody's gonna ruin your shoot. Nobody's gonna ruin your outfits. Nobody's gonna ruin your vibes, like when they come into your shoot, unless you let it happen. And
Right.
it took a while for me to notice or me to learn that and teach myself that again. Especially, I had a falling out with a model friend, and things like I genuinely haven't shot since then. It's
Mm.
been like a few weeks, but I kind of had to remind myself like that friend was not why I got into modeling. That friend is not the reason why I do what I do, why I am what I am.
Right.
And from there, I was kind of like, well, damn, I gotta lock in real quick. Like, it's one of those things. And I kind of didn't want, um, I wanted to jump back in. I knew that I needed to jump back into it, and I just didn't want to. Because I was like, well, what if I
Mhm.
go to an event and she's there? What if I go and, like, so and so has been talking, and now photographers that we
Yeah.
work with together talked? And it was one of those things that
Yeah,
I
it's
was just,
just like when people have you give them that power over you. So
yeah.
that's definitely what that was. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like the sun is, like, reflecting off my glasses and I can't see anything, so I'm
Yeah.
like,
I kind of peep it to mine too, but
ugh, it's rough. I can't see too much now, but
same.
see,
Without
Jay
my
said,
glasses, I cannot see nothing.
yeah, real. See, Jay said a lot of scams on threads. I also didn't realize that we had a chat going. So now I'm seeing little like things jump up
Oh
on my
yeah, I
Twitch,
just
and
seen
I'm like,
it
wait a minute.
on Threads. Is crazy. That is exactly where I met that company or whatever it is. I just think they just wanted followers. I'm not gonna lie, because it was like a lot of like follow this page and this and that.
Oh, that's exactly what that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a you have to
I'm
follow us.
learning.
It,
I'm
we're
learning.
learning. We're locked
Like,
in now.
but I was just like, I had definitely unfollowed them because I was so mad. But I just had to realize like it's more out here. And then I also used to think I think another thing that helped me back was not a lot of opportunities being Charlotte. Like I always used to think that. I used to think I had to go to other places cuz like where all the other
Oh
models
no,
be.
no, no. There's so much to do here now.
Yeah,
I learned
it's
that the hard way too, though.
yeah, so I was just like I really just need to get out of my head. Like this it's too much.
Yeah,
I will be in my head and it will like stop me from doing anything. So,
yeah. No, I absolutely get that because I'm on the same page of like I thought I had to be
all around the
anywhere
world.
but here. And
Right.
like for me, it's I'm in Fort Mill, South Carolina. So
Oh, okay.
there's not too much here in Fort Mill, but I'm like right on that cusp of Fort Mill and Charlotte. So it's like Charlotte.
Mhm.
No, not Charlotte. Carowinds. You know how
Oh,
Carowinds is like in the middle of the two
yeah.
states. I'm kind of on that in that area. So I'm like, oh, well, if anything, if people ask like where I'm located, typically I'll say Charlotte because it's just easier because nobody knows Fort Mill. I
Yeah.
mean, people might know now that everything's growing, but like people don't typically know as soon as you say Fort Mill. They're like, "Oh, I know where that is." Like, no, you don't. You liar. No,
They're
you
trying to make
don't.
you feel like you belong. Like, yeah, I know what that is. No, you
Yeah,
don't.
it's one of those like
Yeah, I used
smile
to feel
away,
that
boy, smile away.
I used to feel that way when I first moved to Charlotte because I'm from Durham, and not a lot of people knew what Durham was. At least when I first came.
Yeah,
Like,
people definitely know Durham now. I think a lot
yeah,
of things have happened in Durham in the past like
yeah, right.
2 years.
So I'm like, but you know what Raleigh is, but you don't know what Durham is,
Yeah,
or you know
Raleigh,
what
Durham
Durham.
are like I feel like a lot has happened in Raleigh to the point now. I feel like a lot of people know Raleigh because of concerts, and that's the
Right.
like of all the things you could know Raleigh for concerts.
But it's like Raleigh and Durham. I think what are they like, 30 minutes off away? Or I don't know how far they are.
Hmm.
One of them. Oh, 30. Okay.
They're close.
Well, I'm like, yeah. Or people think it's like small. Like Durham is not small. Like
No,
it really be the people that don't, that just never
that
been.
don't
Like
know and
that
act like they do
right,
instantly.
don't know what they're talking about. Like I'll just be like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's people about South Carolina. People say they know things about South Carolina, and you're like,
Right.
no.
Mm,
Unless you are a local, you don't get it.
you don't get it at all. Like
I'll
I've
die on
lived
that
there
hill.
my whole childhood life, and you're gonna tell me I'm wrong.
Exactly. Like,
Like,
pause. I know things about this town that you wouldn't believe if you saw, unless you saw it with your own eyes. So,
right.
but
Mm,
back to the thing. Yeah,
yeah. My
Charlotte
bad.
is a way. No, no, no. You're good. We started yapping and we just listen. We were locked in about it.
Right.
I would definitely say Charlotte has more opportunities for modeling than people give it credit for, and I learned that the
Mhm.
hard way. Like I learned that the like reaching out through threads, finding people, not finding the right people. But then like I found that networking, the model meetups is what we call it. I found that and I started talking and started like meeting the photographers, went to one of the meets, ended up with like 170 something photos coming back to me within those 2 weeks of all different people that I had worked with, different makeup looks I had done, different outfits, And like it was one of those things where you were like, wait, like that was not what I was expecting. And then of course
Right.
whenever there's a new person, all the photographers are like, you, let's go. You're like, where are we going? And they're like,
Right.
don't matter, get your ass. And I'm like, okay, I'm on the way. Like, we're
Right.
going. And then after that, people start, like, the photographers started reaching out or telling me about their photographer friends. And it's one of those, like, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right. Yeah. I
And I know
definitely heard that a lot. And
Yeah,
I
Jay and
understand
I were
that.
talking about that in the first episode of the podcast. It is not what you know, it is who you know and how you know how to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it was definitely a kind of it was a different vibe. It was a different like I didn't know if I was supposed to be there. I mean, I told myself I wasn't a model,
Mm.
and then you get there and it is just the most community felt. Like I've never felt safer in a like oh, this is the industry. Like I had never felt safer. Because then they
Yes.
ask like, "Oh, you want to do one-on-one stuff now that you've come to a couple meets and we've worked together a couple times." And then you
Mm.
go do a one-on-one shoot with them, and then you go like follow them and do their stuff. And I went to push up my glasses and they weren't there. Um, that's what that one
But
number
that's
was.
every person that has glasses, I swear.
It
Yeah.
happens every time. But let's see. I'm trying to go back through the questions now. Okay, speaking on, we can segue into this. How have you collaborated with either friends or loved ones or like new friends, new people you've met? Um, how did working with them, even if it wasn't in a modeling sense or anything like that, how did a collaboration help further you as a model? Like you said something about a birthday shoot. How would you say that helped you as a model going on to other shoots, going into new shoots, going on to um, working with new people or doing new poses or
Mhm.
trying something that hadn't originally been tried? If that makes sense.
I would say that it definitely helped my confidence and made me get more comfortable.
Okay.
But answering like trying new things I haven't tried. I just did a shoot with his clothing brand. I don't remember his name. I think it's Jay. The
Geekster
first,
Apparel?
yeah, I think yeah, Easter.
That's Jay. He
Yeah,
was my
I'm
first
sorry.
podcast person. No, you're good.
Um, yeah, he had the photographer that did take those pictures. He did a very good job, just like telling me poses and giving me different
Mhm.
ideas. I've never had that. Normally, if I'm getting in front of the camera, I just try to like. I think I do things where I think looks good, but then like I find myself doing the same thing, and I want to switch it up. But since like it's so harder. Like I guess starting off when you're taking pictures, you don't really see yourself, so you don't really know what you're doing or how you look. So he did a very good job, just like oh, just do this, put your arm like this, and so,
Okay. Okay, I
like
get
stuff
that.
like that, it definitely made me open up more and get more comfortable.
I
I would
have
say that.
a Pinterest board based on like posings and stuff that I can send you. So
Mhm.
do that
Yeah,
as
I feel
well.
like as much I try not to let that discourage me either. Like, cause as more like I go on, I'll
Hmm.
get better eventually, of course. But yeah, I have a
You didn't hate
fashion
it.
show I'm doing December 3rd, and I'm just like I'm a little nervous by that because like I never did a walk show ever. But I
You got
mean,
this. Which show is
yeah.
it?
It was like it's like a toy drive. I'm in the chat. They're doing like a toy drive. I think it was at XOXO Lounge, and they have
Okay.
different designers choose their models. So I've
Oh,
been
that's
chosen by one person,
I love
and
that for you.
yeah,
Sweet.
so yeah, I was just like, okay, rolling in, getting
Jay
different
says you were great at
calls.
that shoot. LOL.
Thank you so much.
I didn't realize that I had the chat like pulled up to the sides. Then I saw something pop up. I was like,
Yeah, I
oh,
have to click on it in order to see it. But I really appreciate that. Thank you. Your clothing is fire. Like them pants.
I'm saying.
Love them.
Oh, I'm
One
saying.
girl there was like, "Do you get to keep the pants?" I was like, "I don't know. I hope so." So but nah, it was really cute. I liked it.
Let's see. Next question. How has the love and support from your loved ones handle rejection and criticism in the industry, if there has been any yet?
It hasn't been any, thankfully, yet. I hope. it's not because I don't think it's more so how they'll handle it. It's probably how I will handle it. I'll probably, you know, because I like to dwell on things so much. Like if somebody says something, I just think about it, like, oh my god. Oh my. So I don't know. I don't think. But knowing them, I think they'll just tell me to keep going. They wouldn't
Mm,
really. They'll tell me not to really
think
fixate on
about it
it.
too much.
Like just like yeah, just brush it off. Like it is what it is. Not everybody is gonna like what you do or like what you have.
Absolutely.
I mean, so you can't let them, I guess, like ruin your mindset on what you want to do.
I know there was a quote. Well, I heard it in an Austin Butler interview, which I thought was kind of funny. But it was you have to get a 100, or you got to get 100 rejections to get one acceptance letter, and that of course was for acting. However, I think with modeling gigs as well, I mean that's very applicable. Like I've put in for so many programs, so many classes, so many runway walks and stuff to do. And I've only done one runway show. And like my very
Mhm.
first one, I nearly tripped on the dress in the dressing room
Oh.
and my heel broke and I had to find someone else's heels to wear. And it was a mess. And
Mm.
before I had gotten accepted for that, I had gotten rejected from about 20 others because my test footage wasn't good enough. And I kind of had to sit there for a minute. I was like, damn, okay. So I went
Right.
back and I did all of the research on my own time. I did all of the looking ups and the figuring out how I'm gonna do things, how am I gonna like get over that. And then I found, or somebody accepted me to walk in New York Fashion Week coming up in February.
Ooh, wow.
And I like freaked the hell out because if these 20 other people said no, you like your walk isn't good enough, how did somebody in New York Fashion Week say like, yeah, yeah,
Right.
come on, I gotcha. Like,
Right.
dog, what do you mean?
I
Like,
like that. I really
oh,
love that for you. Congratulations.
thank you.
That's
I
big.
definitely think I went like into the fry or out of the frying pan into the fire, like just
Hmm.
real
Right.
quick.
But I
Sounds
just
like,
like to think that any rejection, it just wasn't for you. Like God has a
yeah.
different plan for you.
I
So,
definitely think that's what that was. I think God
yeah.
was saying like, nah, don't worry about that. We're moving
I
you
got
into bigger
something
and better
better.
things.
Right.
Yeah.
Really what it is.
All right. Let me see. Next question. How do you use modeling as a way to express your experiences, express your story, express your emotions? How do you use modeling
Um,
to kind of showcase it all?
hmm. I don't think I let it showcase that. I think with modeling, I try to put on a different persona. If that makes
Is
sense.
there a reason for that? Like, is there? We're gonna dig deep on that real quick. Is there like
Um,
a
is there a reason? Not really.
Mhm,
Well, I just know like as a kid, like remember, like when I told you, me and my sister used to always make different little videos. We'll
mhm.
come up with different skits and stuff. I think that's just it's just like the actor in me, I guess. Like I
I was
just
about to say next, like a follow up to that. Thank you, Wednesday. A follow up to that, are you modeling to get into the door of acting, or is it just like you're keeping them separate?
that one I've always thought about that. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Like I'll be watching different movies and then like certain scenes that really get you like deep down, even if it's like
Okay,
emotional. I always be like, I would do that. I will model. I mean, I would act. I would want to be in a movie. Like
that's
I
how I
always
am.
said that. Yeah. But with the whole like putting on a different persona, I just think it's like the creativity and the fun of it.
Okay,
So like the person that did my shoot was like one of my guy friends, my best friend since like high school. I've told him like we came up with this thing where we could like come up with different ideas to do a photo shoot and I just like take pictures and stuff because he's a photographer and just
okay,
take pictures and like just drop them and just see like where it can take me. Like I
yeah,
tried to come up with so many different ideas, and I don't know. I just think it's just like creative. Like
okay.
it tells a story like behind taking pictures. If that makes
Oh,
sense.
absolutely. I agree. I agree.
So yeah, that's something I do want to work on. But yeah, really just that, just trying out different things. Aren't really. I don't think it's really like a deep meaning to it, really.
It's
But
just one of those
yeah,
try everything.
yeah.
Those are fun though. I like those.
That was a good question.
Thank you. Let's see. Let's find. Okay, support systems. Can you talk about a time when your support system, be it friends, family, a significant other, whatever, helped you, like, gave you the support, gave you the courage, gave you the love, gave you the small push? I know we've kind of touched on this, like, already,
Mhm.
but have they given you, like, a small push to your career to kind of say, like, you got to, like, do this, you got to try this? Like, I know you said somebody, your friend had gotten you, like, walking in that show and, like, gave you the support to do that. Can you kind of, like, open up on how that, like, support system has pushed you to do bigger, better things?
Well, that was kind of recent. Definitely, she, yeah, because she just texted me out of nowhere. She was like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of like a show?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." She has a lot. I would say she has a lot more connects than I did because she dances as well.
Okay.
So I think that definitely pushed me to just be out there more and to just go connect with different people. Cause she was just telling me how like yeah that really did help her even herself and just like meeting new people. So I would say that pretty much. After this show, because it's a lot of people coming from different places and a lot of different models.
Mhm.
I definitely plan on when we go just connecting with them and talking to them and just seeing where they started off and how what things they had to go through and what they done to get to where they at. So definitely just having conversations and meeting new people. I think I answered that right.
I was gonna say definitely that. Try the Boom Festival as well. That's a good place to network for creative people. I know we kind of talked about it for, like, maybe 2 seconds in the group chat last
Mhm.
night, but that's a good place to network. And I figured that
Boom
out
Fest.
because I went last year. It's the Boom Festival.
Oh, Boom Festival.
Yeah,
Okay, I never
it's
heard of that.
great. It's one of those things where, like, you don't. It was definitely like a locals put it together, and then they were just like, you know what, let's go for it, and then just kind of
Right.
it just evolved. So now
That's
it's
nice.
like it's a culture thing. It's so cool. So many different cultures come together. Like, I watched this East Asian group do a huge traditional dance. There were native cultures came and did their, like, haka and did other cool, like, dances and battle cries, and it was just the most amazing, like, it's art. And if you've been to Camp North End, that's where it is. It's art in the most industrial art place, and it's just, like, the right place at the right time with the right people. Like,
Okay.
that's one of those things.
I like that. Definitely got to check it out.
Let me see, what is another question? Okay, family traditions. How have family Thank you, Wednesday. How have family traditions and values kind of influenced your approach into modeling and, like, the messages that you can convey through your work, even if you are doing the, like, mask being a different person during your shoots and stuff? Do you still incorporate parts of yourself and your traditions and your, like, your roots that make you who you are?
Definitely. I would say I'm a big music person
Mhm.
and also movie a little bit. My dad, he used to DJ a lot for like different weddings, so I know a whole bunch of music back to like 60s. Like there's just so much, and
That's sweet.
picking up on what I said about just doing different shoots.
Mhm.
Like I've thought about doing like a 60s shoot, like with like different hairstyles and stuff like that. So if that
Something
makes sense,
retro
like
would be so cool.
yeah, like something like that, like just incorporating different like themes when it comes to music into modeling in the future. I haven't really thought everything through yet. I definitely do want to start though. Um, just writing down different ideas and like different shoot ideas to do. I would
Okay.
say that music for sure because it's so easy to just express anything through music and also
Okay.
photography, in my
So you do
opinion.
music, right?
You said I do music,
Yeah.
like sing or anything? No, I don't do music.
Well, I know you like music. Is there any way
I
that, like, would you consider being a musician? Is it one of those, like,
never thought about that. Probably
no?
not. Probably not. But I did think like I think it would be fun to like do something. I don't know, just to do
Yeah.
it. I actually want to try anything. It don't even matter at this point. Like that's
That's
just
how I
I feel
am.
like that's just how I yeah. Like I just want to try anything just to do it. Like I just find it fun, honestly. But I never thought of being a musician. No. I
All
do
right.
have a lot of people I've been surrounded with that does music like rap, even like family members and stuff.
Yeah.
But me myself, no, I never really thought to make music.
Let's see. How do you see the modeling community change when there is love and support being emphasized? Like, anybody can go and do a shoot. Anybody can go and like make something. Anybody can go and do a collaboration. But when you have support and love and like the good energy there in a community of like models and photographers and whatnot, not, how do you see the shoot changing? How do you like see the balance and beauty in things if you do see any of that?
I think it just brings out a whole different type of like worth ethic within you. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
it just makes you want to go harder. It makes you want to just
that
show
makes
off.
so much sense.
I feel like that's with anything. If somebody like I think a good support system is like good for anybody that's doing anything that has to do with content or just to be out there to the world for everybody else to see. Like a support system, definitely. It takes a village because
It
there's
does.
gonna be days where you feel discouraged or when you feel down,
Hmm.
and it can be hard to take yourself up out of that. And you just need somebody that actually truly cares and loves you. That like no, you are great. You've been doing this since this. You're gonna keep going. So yeah, I really feel like a support system, definitely.
Agreed. Now, this would be more on a personal note for us. Do you see the group chat being the support system?
I
Because
definitely
I've
do.
definitely in the past few days I've been like,
I definitely do see that they can be because if you see like they be on there talking about other things, so it's just like we all just talk, or they
oh
just
yeah,
like you
it
can get
feels like a
along,
friend
get
group
along with
at
them.
this point. Like
Yeah,
at this
so
point, it
I
doesn't
definitely
feel
see that
like just a business like collaborations and engagement and whatnot. Now it kind of feels like
like a
friends and stuff. I haven't
right.
been able to go do the social stuff that they're doing, but like
Mm-hmm.
to see them go and do that and hang out and have fun, it's like
Right.
it feels like a friendship instead of just a, oh, this is a business exchange.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like so many different personalities. I feel like it just all fits. Like all get along. I don't see no reason for it to not be.
Yeah,
So I definitely do see that them as
I
being a
like
support
it.
system.
It blends together very well.
Yeah, it does. And then mind you, we barely even know each other, so it's like
I was about to say, yeah, no, there's not very much like, oh, you and I have history, like we have roots and da da da
right,
da. No, it's this one person reached out and we all got put in a group chat and we're
right.
all creative in some way, shape, or form. So now we're
Hmm.
gonna lock in and make some art.
Right. You gotta meet people somehow. So,
I think Threads was definitely the way that I met the people that got me where we're at today. So
mm, yeah.
love that. Shout out. Shout out.
Love that. Love that.
All right. Let's see. Mentorship and friendship. How important are mentors and friends in this journey? I know you said it takes a village. Can we expand on that?
Hmm. I think so. I believe so. Like as far as like say that you have a friends that support system, but then can you like expand on meeting like mentorships? Like
Yeah.
people to give
Like, are
mentorships?
there any like I guess how important is it that people have friendships and mentors and people that are willing to hold them artistically accountable and hold people like there in a, we're gonna create, we're gonna do good, we're gonna lock in and get this creation like
Right.
on a
I think it's
chain.
very important because as much as you think you can handle everything,
Hmm.
eventually you're going to start growing and it's like
Right.
it can become overwhelming. So I
Yeah.
think having a friendship or a team of mentorship that know what they're doing, like having different positions for different people, I think it would be a lot easier
Yeah.
and helpful. Because like our mind, we can come up with so many ideas, but then like somebody else can throw out an idea and be like, oh, I actually like that better. Like I think that's another thing too. Like I have so many ideas, but having somebody else like I can turn to and like talk to them about it, and they can
Hmm.
kind of just change certain things about it. Like okay, yeah, I actually do like that better, and just
Yeah.
incorporate different ideas. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's
Okay.
important.
All right. Let's see. Celebrating diversity. In what ways do you think, or in what ways do you celebrate the diversity of be it fashion, be it art in some way, shape, or form, even love, like familial, platonic, romantic, through your art and through your interactions with the community. Now, be it the content creator side of things, be it the modeling side of things, how do you include diversity?
That's a good question. I don't think I had a chance to include any diversity into my work.
Okay.
Um, I'll have to think on that.
Is there any like anything you'd want to add in to like create diversity? Because I know like for example, for my stuff, I like threw in doing shoots where I did stuff with my afro. And like we've been wanting to do like throwing in like put flowers in my afro or put
Mhm.
like fairy lights in it and edit it white to make it look like a cloud or something like
Oh, okay.
including the diversity of oneself and adding in either like cool things you can do, cool things you can wear that like relate to your culture and things like that. Kind of throwing those things on in there
Yeah, I
or at
haven't
least
done
the
a shoot like
possibility.
that. I definitely do want to. I'm trying to think what ideas would I like. I haven't done a shoot with my curly fro yet. I wear curl my actual curls as well. I haven't done that yet. I definitely plan on doing something like that, like a natural black girl magic shoot. That'll actually be really nice.
Those would be fun. I feel like I want
Yeah.
to like say something about that to the group chat. I've been thinking about that because like the
Yes.
term black excellence was one of the
Mhm.
things that another person that was like, oh, I'll be on your podcast. Um,
Mhm.
and he kind of talks about how he started up his community or like his little, his business was based on black excellence. And that's the words he used. And I was like, he goes, I wanted to do a photo shoot with small business owners that are all black, and it would be
Mhm.
called like the Black Excellence Shoot. And I was like, way, kind of like that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Definitely.
Um, so I would definitely throw that in the group chat and be like,
Yeah, that'd be
hey,
different.
fam. It would be fun,
That's
I definitely think.
nice. Yeah.
Let's see. I feel like I've asked all of these. Let's see. Personal growth. How has your personal relationships contributed to your growth and authenticity as a model?
Like friendships, personal relationships.
Yeah, like friendships, family,
Mhm.
romance, whatever. Like, how does the personal life, relationships, and the growth and the hardships and the emotions, how do those kind of translate over into being a model?
Well, I would definitely say for emotions, I've had a bad confidence problem for the last few years. So, me being emotional about that and definitely me growing and knowing my potential, that's
Okay.
definitely pushed me. Friendships, even though my friends always seen the position with me, it's like you got to see it within yourself first.
Yeah.
So I would say they definitely did help and they definitely did give me good words of affirmations. But mostly, yeah, I feel like emotions mostly did touch base on pushing me. I would say
Okay.
that if that answers that question.
Let's see. How do you handle negativity and conflict within the community? And like, what role does like kind of this says what role does love for the community play in emotional resilience and how you approach conflict, if that makes
Mhm.
any sense. When there is an issue in the community or when there is like conflict of interest in a shoot or at a modeling like thing, that's the word. Yeah. Um,
Like,
how do you fix it? How do you navigate it?
luckily, I haven't had any conflict, but I would say if I did have conflict, like with it, like saying I'm doing the shoot and somebody probably didn't like what I was doing, I would honestly just, I feel like I wouldn't really care about what they were thinking. Because again, it's like with modeling, you have to express yourself. Like everyone's
Yeah.
different. So I have my own way of expressing myself. Maybe somebody else have their own way of expressing yourself. even if I don't really agree with how they're expressing yourself, not everything needs to be said. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but if it's versus if it's like maybe if I'm modeling for a company and they kind of don't like something, I definitely would just take that as constructive criticism and maybe just move how they want me to move. But all in all, I just feel like everybody has their own way of expressing themselves
Yeah.
through their pictures and their modeling. So, but luckily, I have not run against any conflict. I'm not saying I never would, because that would be just crazy talk to think you never would. But
Right. Right.
I would just have to prepare myself, I guess, and not take it too hard.
For
So,
sure. All right. Got one more question. How do you envision the future of your modeling? Like, what do we have? What can we look forward to seeing from you next?
oh, I definitely want to be on covers of magazines and stuff. I definitely want to be on Vogue. That's a big one.
Vogue is the dream.
Vogue is the dream for sure. I've never thought of doing fashion walks and stuff. Has never really been my like crossed my mind when I thought about modeling. It really was just like shoots or just like little movie scenes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like any visuals, pretty much. Because I have a thing for visuals. I don't know. Like I really love
It's the
different
aesthetic, the
ideas.
beauty and the what people
Yeah,
refer to as the mundane.
yeah, and
Shut up.
creativity. But fashion walks, I wouldn't mind. And then maybe like just wherever it takes me, like I'll be down for. Even if it's like acting,
Okay,
why not? I'll try it out. So
for sure.
definitely that.
I know for submitting stuff to magazines and whatnot, you can use the app Caviar,
Mm,
Kavyar.
I know caviar.
Um, Jay and I were talking about that in the last podcast. I've been on 152, like in 152 magazines, and I've been on
Mm,
the cover of I think 13 now,
okay.
because of Caviar. So that's maybe we're just pronouncing it wrong, and people are gonna come back in the podcast and be like, okay, first of all, not how you pronounce it. And someone's gonna like reach out and be like, dude, you butchered that so bad.
Oh my god.
Um, but yeah, Caviar. Caviar. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
Whatever it is, that's the app that I had been using to like throw in stuff. And then of course I hit this kind of block of not submitting and not doing modeling and stuff. So I haven't logged back in, but now with the creatives group, I might say like, "Yo, y'all want to get together? Y'all want to do a shoot? Like let's get these magazine covers rolling."
Right. I love that. Yes, definitely. I'll be available. Just let me know.
For sure. I know since we're all in Charlotte, that would be way easier to actually like schedule a
Mhm.
meetup, schedule a little get together, little artistic get together.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
Is there anything else
Excited.
you wanna say? Anything else you wanna touch on before we go?
Um. No, I think everything. You have very good questions. I was kind of getting nervous. I was like, I don't want to mess up. Let me
I hear
answer
you.
this. But no, this was a good podcast. This is my first one actually being made about me and like asking questions too.
Congratulations. I'm like, what's
Thank
up for
you.
you?
But I want to congratulate you and everybody. I hope y'all make it
Thank
far
you.
into everything you're doing.
Thank you. Thank
Definitely. This
you.
has been like a good experience being a part of this. And I
I'm
hope.
glad. I want like
Um,
people to know that like in my podcast they're very like it's about them. It's about your story. It's about what you're doing and where you're going with things.
hmm I hate that I didn't have a lot more experiences to touch on, like, because it's like I'm still kind of starting like up there. I would have
But if
probably
we
had
when
more.
we come back in a year
Right,
and I'm like,
right,
okay, so what have
right.
we done
I'm gonna
since the
have
last time we spoke on it?
I'm gonna have so much more to talk about, but
Or we just do like a even in 3 months from now, see where
mhm,
you've see how far you've come. Because I know with this
right,
group, there is so much there's so much that's gonna get done. Like
right.
even like Jay saying something in the chat, like he's got you with a pair of pants. Like that in
hmm
itself is a new
Thank
collaboration, and
you.
it's just gonna. I think the networking that people are gonna do and the way that it's going up from here. I can say that much.
It has to go up, yeah, for sure.
Okay, for sure. There is not a singular doubt in my brain that things are gonna just go and go and go.
Not at all. Yes,
All
I'm
right.
so excited.
This is gonna be fun. This
It
is gonna
is.
be like new beginnings for everybody, I'm willing to say. Because I mean, it seems like in the group chat, nobody has really worked with anybody else in the group chat before. So now
Mhm.
that people are getting up and doing things and putting things together and meeting and shooting together, like even that, like it's already been, I've only been in the chat for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, but to see everybody already planning hangouts and doing stuff, it's like, oh yeah, this is.
Mhm. And I was here for the beginning. I think yeah, like we all made the chat. I was there, and so seeing more people come in, it's like wow, like this is really
It's so cool to watch, isn't it? It's like,
yeah,
oh my
it's
god,
like
little
expanding. I was
community.
like, oh my god, okay.
I love
So
that. I love this.
yes,
All right,
definitely.
well, let everybody know where we can find you. Social wise.
Social, my Instagram is Go Goddess GOLDGAWDESSS. Three S's. Twitter is the same. Thread's the same. Everything's pretty much the same. So that's where you
All
can
right.
find me. Once I hop on my YouTube things again, I definitely would let y'all know. Like send that link over too.
All right. Well, we will wrap it at this. Thank you so, so much for being
Thank
on here.
you. Thank you so much for having me. I had
Absolutely.
fun.
All
Mm.
right. Well, we will close out here.
All right. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. All right.